Shabbat Shalom. Welcome everyone to our Shabbat morning service. Quick thing to mention, currently we are not at a minyan, but I suspected this was a possibility as we've got a number of our regulars who are participating in Pride Shabbat and the parade. As we discussed, one of our goals with resuming weekly Shabbat morning services is that we're counting on making it a minyan. Don't worry, we're not counting this one against anyone because we recognize we've got two competing services and experiences going on. And instead, we are just delighted that all of you are here this morning. We may make some slight emendations to our service as we go through, but don't worry about that at this point because we'll join together in the morning blessing of Ma'atovu, which you can find up on the screen, and you can also find on page 74 in your Mishkan Tefillah. Ma'atovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael. Ma'atovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael. Va'ani berov chastecha avo veitecha eshtachavei el hechol kodshecha be'yiratecha. Ma'atovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael. Ma'atovu, Ohalecha Yaakov, Ohalecha Yaakov, Mishkenotecha Yisrael. We continue on page 76. This is a variation of Asher Yatzar, which you can find on that page. And we begin with the classic Hebrew word of woe. 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 I thank you for my life, body and soul. Help me realize I am beautiful and whole. I'm perfect the way I am and a little broken too. I will live each day as a gift I give to you. Whoa. 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 Baruch atah Adonai, Rofech kol basar umavli lasot. Baruch atah Adonai, Rofech kol basar umavli lasot. Continue with Elohai Neshama, page 78. Elohai, Elohai, Neshama, Shenatata bi Tehorahi. Elohai, Elohai, Neshama, Shenatata bi Tehorahi. Tabirata, Ata Yitzarta, Ata Nifachta bi, Ve'ata Mishamira, Mishamra Bikirbi. Elohai, Elohai, Neshama, Shenatata bi Tehorahi. Baruch atah Adonai, asher biado nefesh kol chai, v'ruach kol b'sar ish. Continue with the Nasim B'chol Yom together, which you can find beginning page 80. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan l'sech v'ina lavchin ben yom uvein laila. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani b'tzelem Elohim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asani ben chorin. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, pokeach ivrim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, malbish arumim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, matir asurim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, sokef kefufim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamechin mitzadei gaver. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, ozer Yisrael bigvura. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, oter Yisrael b'tifara. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hanoten li'ayev koach. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamavir sheina me'enai, utnuma me'afapai. Join together in the blessing over the study of Torah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. Continue with the study of Torah, Elu Devarim, the rabbinic application of the Ten Commandments, page 86. Elu Devarim she'en lahem shior, Elu Devarim she'en lahem shior, Elu Devarim she'en lahem shior, ve'elu hey. Elu Devarim she'en lahem shior, Elu Devarim she'en lahem shior, Elu Devarim she'en lahem shior, ve'elu hey. Kibud avayim, ugmilut chasadim, v'hashkamat beit hamidrash, shacharit ve'arvit, v'haknasat orchim, uvikor cholim, v'haknasat kala, uvayat amet, ve'iyut tfilah, ve'iyut tfilah, ve'havat shalom, bein adam lechaveiro. Tamuz Torah keneged kulam, Tamuz Torah keneged kulam, Tamuz Torah keneged kulam. Elu Devarim she'en Dvarim she'ein lahem shior be'eluhein. Sorry for not switching the page. Continue on page 100 with Psuke de Zimra with Psalm 150. It's a lot to juggle, you know. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, El Bikocho, hallelujah, Bikirauzo, hallelujah, Big Rotov, hallelujah, Kerov Gudlo, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah, beteka shofar. Hallelujah, benevel vechinor. Hallelujah, betofu machol. Hallelujah, b'minim ve'ugav. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 b'tziltzalei shama, hallelujah, b'tziltzalei trua, kol haneshama tehallelya, kol haneshama tehallelya. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Continue with the Chatzi Kaddish, page 106. Yikadal v'yikada shemei Rabba, v'yalma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'gala ba'gala u'v'zman kariv v'yimeru amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach, Le'olam u'lamei omaya, Yitzbarach, Yiparach, V'yishtabach, V'yitba'ar, V'yitramam, V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitalal, Shmei Dekudesha Brichu, Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechemata, Damiram bi'alma, V'yimeru amen. We invite all those who so choose to rise in body and or in spirit for the Baruch Hu. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yalla lie, lie, lie. 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 Barechu et Adonai. Hamevorach. Baruch Adonai, Hamevorach. Yalla lie lie lie, 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 yalla lie lie lie. You may be seated. We read together, top of page 110. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, yotzer or uvarei choshech, oseh shalom uvarei et hakol, hameir la'aretz v'ladarim aleha barachamim, uvtuvo mechadesh b'chol yom tamid, ma'aseh v'reishit. Ma rabu ma'asecha Adonai, kulam b'chochma asita, mal'ah ha'aretz kinyanecha, tiparach Adonai Eloheinu, al shevach ma'aseh yadecha ve'al me'orei or she'asita yifa'arucha sela. Baruch atah Adonai yotzer ha'me'orot. Please read together in the middle of page 112. How deeply you have loved us. Keep going. To heed, learn, and teach, and to lovingly to observe, perform, and fulfill all that is in your Torah. Continue in the middle of the page in the Hebrew with V'ha'er Einenu. V'ha'er Einenu b'Toratecha, v'nabek l'beinu b'mitzvotecha, v'yached l'vaveinu, v'yahava u'yira et shemecha, v'lo nevosh, v'lo nikalen, v'lo nikashel, le'olam va'ed, v'b'shem kodshecha, hagadol v'hanora b'tachu, nagila v'nismecha, nagila v'nismecha b'shuatecha. Ki el poel yeshuot ata, uvanu v'acharta, v'kereb Tamuz l'shimcha gadol sela be'emet, lodo lecha yolchedcha b'ahava, baruch atah Adonai, habocher ba'amo Yisrael b'ahava. Page 114, we can continue with the Shema. If it is your tradition or custom, we invite you to either rise or remain seated as you feel comfortable. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. Page 116. V'yavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha v'hayu hadavarim ha'ele asher nochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'aderech, ukshokbecha uvkumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letotavot b'neinecha, uchtavtam al mizuzot beitecha uvisharecha, leman tizkeru, v'asitem et kol mitzvotai, v'item kedoshim le'eloheichem, ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem, emet. Continue responsively, page 121. The eternal truth is that you alone are God and there is none else. Let them beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. You shall not hate your brother or your sister in your heart. Why do you crush my people and oppress the poor, asks God. Praise to God Most High. Continue with the Song of Our Redemption, Micha Mocha, page 122. Yai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. Micha mocha ba'elim Adonai, micha mocha neder b'kodesh, norata yilodo seifele, norata yilodo seifele. Shira Kadisha Shipu Geulim Leshimcha Aspat Hayam Yachad Kulamodu Behim Lichu Be'ameru Adonai Yimloch Le'olam Va'ed Adonai Yimloch Le'olam Va'ed Yai Lai Lai Yai Lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. Tzur Yisrael, kuma bezrat Yisrael, uvedeichenu mecha, Yuda veYisrael, go aleinu, Adonai tzvaot shemo, Kedosh Yisrael, Baruch atah Adonai, Ka'al Yisrael. Continue now with the Amidah, the central section of our worship service, beginning page 124. We invite all those who so choose to rise in body and or in spirit at this time. Adonai sefatai tiftachu fi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor V'Anorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chastei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'Neihem, Leman Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Vezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayei HaKol Atarav Lehoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed, Mechayei HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofe Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'al Givurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit, Umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'nemanat Aleachayot HaKol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayei HaKol. Remain standing for the Kiddushah, for the sanctification, page 130. Nikadesh et shimcha ba'olam, Keshem shemakdishim oto b'shmei marom, kakatuv al yad neviecha, v'kara zel zeh ve'amar, Kadosh, 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 Adonai Tzivaot, Melochol haaretz, Yevodo, Adir, Adirenu, Adonai, Adonenu ma'adir, Shimcha b'chol haaretz, Baruch Kivod Adonai, B'komo. Echadu Eloheinu, Hu Avinu, Hu Malkeinu, Hu Moshienu, Vehu Yashmienu, Barachamav Le'enei Kol Chai. Ani Adonai Eloheim, Imloch Adonai Le'olam, Elohai Yitzion, Ledor Vador, Hallelujah. Ledor Vador Nagid Golecha, Ulenetzach Netzachim, Kedushacha Nakish, V'shivchacha Eloheinu, Mipinu Lo Yamush, Leolam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. You may be seated. Labriut. Continue now with the wonderful song of Shabbat with Yismachu, which you can find on page 132. Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, Korei Oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, Korei Oneg Shabbat. Mekadeshei, Mekadeshei Shavi Shabbat, Kulam Yismechu, Ve'atu mituvecha Shabbat, Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, V'korei Oneg Shabbat, Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, Korei Oneg Shabbat. Tashvi, Ratzita bo v'kidasho Shabbat, Chemdat Yamim, Oto Karata Shabbat, Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, Korei Oneg Shabbat, Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, Korei Oneg Shabbat. Zecher l'maaseh, l'maaseh b'reishit Shabbat. Zecher l'maaseh, l'maaseh b'reishit Shabbat. Yismechu malachutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, Korei Oneg Shabbat. Yismechu v'malachutecha, Shomrei, Shomrei, Shomrei Shabbat, V'korei Oneg Shabbat. Page 137. We read together in the English. Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer. Wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land in Zion restored, in all lands, you are our God, whom love we serve in reverence. Continue with our visuals together in the English up on our screens. Be gracious, O eternal our God, to your people Israel, and receive our prayers with love. O may our worship always be acceptable to you. Fill us with the knowledge that you are near to all who seek you in truth. Let our eyes behold your presence in our midst and in the midst of our people in Zion. Blessed is the Eternal, whose presence gives life to Zion and all Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, hamachazir shechinato l'Tzion. Continue now with the prayer, one of the most passionate prayers of our people, the prayer of a dream yet to be realized, but whose goodness we aspire to bring about in our lives, in our families, in our communities, and thereby inspire the world entire. The prayer for peace, Sim Shalom. Sim Shalom, Tova, Uvracha. Sim Shalom, Tova, Uvracha. Sim Shalom, Tova, Uvracha. Sim Shalom, Tova, Uvracha. Chen v'chesed, chen v'chesed v'rachamim. Chen v'chesed, chen v'chesed v'rachamim, v'rachamim. Sim Shalom, Tova, Uvracha. Sim Shalom, Tova, Uvracha. Aleinu, Be'al Kol Yisrael. Aleinu, Be'al Kol Yisrael. Amecha. Sim Shalom, Tova, Uvracha. Sim Shalom, Tova, Uvracha. Tova, Uvracha. Tova, Uvracha. Baruch atah Adonai, hamavarech et amo Yisrael. Shalom. We pause for a few moments of personal, private prayer. We invite you to please pray silently. Oh, say shalom, bimromav, uya'aseh shalom, aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru, amen. Oh, say shalom, bimromav, uya'aseh shalom, aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru, amen. So as I mentioned earlier, we're going to make a slight emendation to our service and going to forego the Torah service, but not to worry, we will be doing plenty of Torah next week, and we will take this time in our worship service to think of those friends, family, and loved ones, those in our lives, our congregational family, our worlds, all those who are ill and ailing, and offer up the following prayer of healing. Mishaberach Avotenu Abraham, Yitzhak, v'Yaakov, v'imotenu Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, v'Leah. May the God of our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebekah, Rachel, and Leah bless all those who are ill and ailing. On this Shabbat, we think of Hal Arnold, Shelley Babender, Virginia Becker, Jean Brosco, Lisa Brunkhorst, Sandy Christofferson, Steve DeLugoff, Scott Farkas, Nancy Friedland, Larry Galinsky, Howard Goldstein, Jean Herman, Joan Johnson, Les Kay, Ronald Kaplan, Samuel Kenkel, Karen Levin, Bailey Linthicum, Emily Linthicum, Brandy Matson, Michael Ott, Edie Rothman, Mimi Rogers, Holly Rosenberg, George Sachs, Linda Scharf, Rabbi Robert Scharf, Susan Snitzer, Dee Dee Spiegel, Kaylin Stoner, Raylene Svoboda, Chrissy Swenson, Laura J. West, Brent Wine, Abram Wisnia, Kate Ewell, Aviva Bat Kalman. If there are any additions or corrections you'd like to mention, we invite you to do so at this time. May the God of our ancestors bless all those who are ill and ailing with the refuah shlema, complete recovery of mind, of body, of spirit. And for those unable to make a full recovery, may God continue to be a source of peace and comfort in their lives. May God grant strength to those who are dealing with the challenges of mental illness and or addiction. And may God provide healing for all those who have suffered as victims of violence and terror throughout the world. May God grant strength to those who love them, especially their caregivers, wisdom and protection to those who care for them, and strength to all of us who love them. And together as one loving family, let us say, Amen. Okay. Our service continues now with the words of Aleinu, page 282. We invite all those who so choose to rise in body and or in spirit as we face the ark together. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latekdu la liotze breshit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzot, velo samanu kemishpachot adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegoralenu kechol hamonam, V'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu v'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu Yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad. You may be seated. Our thoughts turn now to our own loved ones, the martyrs of our people, those who have died in the season and in years past. And when you hear the name of a loved one, we do invite you to rise in body and or in spirit. If you choose to rise in body, we encourage you to remain standing. As a community, we're in the period of Shloshim, the 30 days of mourning, for Aaron Batt, Pearl Moskowitz, Norm Bleicher, Peggy Nog DeLand, and the Yortzites anniversaries of the deaths we observed this week are for Robert Irwin Block, Lucille Broadkey, Patricia Ann Burks Wright, Marcia Cohen, Lorene R. Cohn, Jerry Dan, Nathan J. Dan, Ira Ehrenreich, Bradley Epstein, Harold Bay Epstein, Arthur Henry Friedman, Sheldon M. Gellner, Julius Gelber, Goldie Galinsky, Herbert H. Kyman, Myrna Kirschenbaum, Saul Kritzelman, Norman Kucklin, William Lerner, Marcia Lipsman, Nathan London, Rose Rubin Marfisi, David Marshall, Sam Meyerson, Mina Miller, Perry I. Nadler, Bessie Perelman, Sadie Reamer, Hyman George Rickover, Ida T. Robinson, Dave Rosenstock, Todd Searson, Herbert Seidel, Selma Schamberg, Arthur Sherman, Alan David Simon, Isaac Sternhill, Brandon Michael Thomas, Rebecca S. Treller, Ruth Weissman, Wyman White, Stanley J. Weidman, Iz Wiener, Rose Wiener. If there are any additions or corrections, we invite you to mention them at this time. We think of as well those victims of terror and violence worldwide, as well as the 6 million who perished in the violence of the Shoah. Our griefs and sympathies are mingled. We invite all others who so choose to rise as well as we join together with the mourners in Kaddish Yatom, Mourners Kaddish. Yikadal v'yikadash shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divrach hirutei v'yalmlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, v'agalav v'zman kariv v'imru, Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mivrach le'alam u'la'almei al-maya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitbar v'yitrumam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei d'kudashah b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushpechata v'nechamata damiram v'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru, Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, comfort to all who are bereaved. Together as one loving family, let us say, Amen. O say shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru, Amen. You may be seated. Few things to mention as we wrap up our service. As we noted, there's the Community Pride Parade, of which our congregation is participating and standing tall with a larger section of the Omaha Jewish community. And so some of our familiar faces are there schwitzing their tuchuses off as we speak. As always, check the e-tidings for the upcoming events in the life of the congregation. Just going to point out a few things. One is we've got our annual golf tournament coming up on the 22nd. For any of you who play golf or are like me and play golf as a mitzvah to make others feel better about their golf game, we invite you, if you haven't registered, or encourage your friends to register. This coming Wednesday at 7, I will be beginning my first of my 3-part series in Jews and Comics. It's about the origins of not just the superheroes, but the Jewish origins of that great pop cultural phenomenon, the comic book, which still has implications to us to this very day. And also, we are doing a civil rights trip, an adult civil rights trip, in the spring of 2025. Initial deposits are due, I believe, by August 15th. So if you're interested but want to know more, talk to Rabbi Berzin, and please try to get your deposits in by the 15th so we can make sure that this really engaging and fascinating trip is a go. I know this because 2 of my children went on the teen version of it, and they really came back inspired, and they had a great many thoughts that they shared with us and with the congregation as well. There are lots more events coming up in the life of the congregation. As always, check your e-tidings, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to the office. And just to let you know, for the Jews and Comics class, it is both in person and on Zoom. You do not need to pre-register, and there's no fee for it. However, if you want to give me money, I won't say no, but not on Shabbat. So now we will continue with our concluding melody of Ein Keloheinu, which you can find on page 322. Ein keloheinu, ein kadonenu, ein kemalkeinu, ein kemoshienu, mich Eloheinu, mich Adonenu, mich Emalkeinu, mich Moshienu, Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adonenu, Nodel Emalkeinu, Nodel Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu. Shabbat Shalom. Brooke T, yeah. And Shabbat Shalom to those joining us on Zoom. It's wonderful to see you.